My video game top 10 countdown. This is Sopturtle's personal preference for his favorite games. There's a lot of great games that I didn't get to mention, and all the games on my top 10 list are great games. I'll probably do an honorable mention list at some point in the future, but for right now, this is going to be my top 10 list, so don't get upset if a game that you like isn't there. Coming in at number 10 is Super Metroid. It was just such a fun game to explore, and also kind of frustrating at the same time. The new Metroid games are fun too, and so is the old NES one, but this one takes the cake in overall playability and fun. I mean, you have to escape an exploding planet Zebus at the end. Just a really fun game from start to finish. The bosses are ridiculous, and I still remember beating Norfair's sub-boss one morning when I had rented the game because we had to take it back that day to the store. I was in the 3rd or 4th grade at the time and had school in like 15 minutes. I was that hardcore. If you haven't played it yet, find a way to play it. I think it is on the Wii Virtual Console. If it isn't, it should be. A lot of people don't like Shenmue, and I don't blame them. The game starts out incredibly boring, but after you get past the first disc of the first game, the game gets very exciting, and I consider the graphics to still be very good even by today's standards, especially the faces. Apparently it was supposed to be for the Sega Saturn originally, if you unlocked the right extras on Shenmue 2. It just felt like you were experiencing a movie in this game, and unfortunately all the non-fun stuff in between, which turned a lot of people off. But the fun storytelling and the detective-like feel of the game just made it great in my eyes. Skies of Arcadia is by leaps and bounds the best turn-based random battle RPG I have ever played. The only two other games that come close to it are Final Fantasy IX, my favorite of that series by the way, and Grandia 2 for its great combat system. Skies of Arcadia 2 has a great story and it's just lighthearted fun. I really like the exploring system where you made discoveries too. Nothing like getting to explore stuff. This game is available on both Dreamcast and the GameCube, however it is currently very hard to find for either system, so if you see it somewhere I'd recommend picking it up. But I do believe it is best played on the Dreamcast. Nothing like an extra loud console that warns you about random battles so you can heal up before it even starts. Granted, there really isn't a strength of the system, but it was a lot of fun to do. Super Mario 64 is the game that probably got me addicted to gaming. I played this game all the way through many times, and it is just plain fun. The game is available for the DS and the Wii Virtual Console as well. All versions of the game are fine to play. I thought the DS version was a lot of fun because it was like a mini expansion pack as there were some slightly new levels, and with the new characters you had some more abilities you could use as well. The game was just plain fun from beginning to end as the rules were simple and the objectives clear. Nothing like playing this game until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning with a group of friends debating the finer points of life. I've been called a liar many times about this, but I swear I heard Mario scream "oh shit" when I threw him off a ledge once. He might not have said it, but it is what I heard. When I bought Morrowind, I was very skeptical. I was expecting another turn-based RPG. I looked at all the cities on the giant map that came with the game and thought to myself how the game was going to play out. I had no idea what I was in for. This is the most free-form game I can think of. You can do whatever you want from beginning to end. Then, when the expansion packs came out in an already jam-packed game, there was so much game. I don't think I've finished it all yet. I don't even think that it is possible. Oblivion is also a fun game in the series, but it lacks a certain magic that this game had. I don't know what it is. Morrowind just feels better. Now, if I can just play this game without any fog, that'd be super cool. Now for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. This was probably the most epic of the entire series. I will agree it was kind of a rip-off the way they had you do this crap with buying an add-on game. Sega seemed to be in love with an add-on technology for some reason. But Sonic and 3 and Knuckles was probably the only add-on worth it. Tons of stages and great music. One of my favorite tracks ever is from the next to last stage of this game. It sounds so epic and just makes me feel like I'm actually accomplishing something. Even if it is just dragging a blue hedgehog through a 16-bit level collecting rings for some reason. Overall, a fun, fast, and great game. I could probably populate the entire list with Mega Man games, but that wouldn't make for a good top 10 list, so I decided to pick my favorite Mega Man game from the series and put it here. Mega Man 3 takes the cake for the best Mega Man game, and that earns it spot number 4 on this list. The game has sharp graphics, a great soundtrack, fun robot masters, and a good story, if you have the instruction booklet and an imagination. It is this simple pick-up-and-play gameplay of go ahead and shoot whatever moves gameplay that makes Mega Man so great from 1 to 9 and the early X series. Mega Man 3 is, in my eyes, the crowning achievement of that series. TIE Fighter is an old PC game that I spent a good part of the 6th grade playing through many times. The game was great because it required a tremendous amount of skill and patience to be able to play through it without the cheat modes. I have only done it a few missions without my Super Shield on, but still, it's tough. The game is a lot of fun and I had a great time playing it all the way through many times. Nothing like a great game where every button on the keyboard does something important. I think I still remember almost all the commands. I think left bracket is 2/3 throttle or something like that. It was also cool that there was a lot of voice acting, and it was too bad that I can't get this game to work on my PC anymore now with Windows XP. I think there are some third-party patches out there, but I can't get them to work right. I believe LucasArts needs to remake this game and release it with its own special joystick. I would definitely buy it. Be warned though, there are crappy games out there too in the X-Wing TIE Fighter series. I mean, the other games, they aren't like super crappy, but they're just not as good as this one, so it's kind of a letdown. My favorite Zelda game is the Wind Waker, and I could probably list this whole list with just nothing but Zelda and Mega Man games, but I decided to pick my favorite one from each of those series, and for Zelda, it's the Wind Waker. I know for that most people, they prefer Ocarina of Time or A Link to the Past, but this game takes the cake. It is so much fun, and you get to explore a whole world in a boat. I remember how much fun it was to see this odd island way off to the horizon, and then just sail to it to see what it was. That is what made this game great. While all the Zelda games let you explore, this one felt like you had the most freedom. The Phantom Hourglass was a good follow-up as well, because it kept the same magic this game had. First seeing this game at E3, I thought it was going to suck due to all the cell shading, but it really fit the game quite nicely, and I was pleasantly surprised. Link just looks so great with all his unique facial expressions. If you don't think the Wind Waker was the best in the series, give it another look. You'll be glad you did. Tetris is the best game ever made, hands down. It has the best replay value in the entire world and is fun no matter how much you play it. I still play this game off and on quite a bit. What is nice about it is that you can play it virtually anywhere now. You can play it on a train, on a plane, the other kind of plane, and on your watch, and so on and so forth. The best version is probably the old NES version made by Nintendo. The Tension version is okay, but not great for some reason. I mean, From Russia with Fun sounds a lot better than the Soviet Mind Game, because the Soviet Mind Game just sounds like brainwashing to me. But Tetris will still, despite that weird game and a lot of bad versions out there, always hold a special place in my heart as the best game ever made.